It began not with a bang, not with a grand declaration, but with a whisper, a subtle stirring deep within my soul. It was a quiet, almost imperceptible shift in perspective, a gentle breeze of change that promised something more. A tiny thought nudging at my mind. Go, just one word, simple and direct, yet it carried the weight of untold possibilities. It echoed in the chambers of my heart, a siren song of adventure. Go and see the world, explore its hidden corners, taste its exotic flavors, and immerse yourself in its vibrant cultures. Let the world be your classroom, your playground, your canvas, but then another word, alone. A stark contrast to the expansive invitation, a counterpoint that introduced a note of uncertainty. Alone? The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. Could I truly embrace this journey on my own? I'd always traveled with others, finding comfort and security in shared experiences. Part of a crew or with friends, creating memories and navigating the unknown together. There was a certain joy in shared laughter, in having someone to lean on during challenging moments. Yet the thought took root, persistent as a seed, slowly but surely, pushing through the soil of my comfort zone. It was a quiet rebellion against the familiar, a yearning for something more profound. Was I capable of navigating foreign lands, of facing unexpected challenges, all on my own? Should I? Was it selfish to prioritize my own desires? To step away from the familiar and embrace the unknown? Was I brave enough? Did I possess the inner strength to overcome my fears and step into the uncharted territory of solo travel? The world felt so big and I felt so small, a tiny speck against the backdrop of towering mountains and endless oceans. The idea of solo adventure was both thrilling, promising a sense of freedom and self-discovery unlike anything I had ever experienced, and terrifying. The thought of navigating unfamiliar streets, of facing potential dangers alone, sent shivers down my spine. I mulled it over for weeks, turning it in my mind like a curious pebble, examining its every facet, weighing its pros and cons. What would it be like to navigate? To decipher foreign maps and navigate bustling city streets, relying solely on my own instincts and resourcefulness. To eat, to sit at a table for one in a crowded restaurant, surrounded by the murmur of unfamiliar conversations, finding solace in my own company. To simply without a familiar face beside me. To experience the world through my own eyes, unfiltered by the opinions or expectations of others. There was an allure to it, a magnetic pull that drew me closer to the edge of the unknown. A challenge, a beckoning, a siren song that promised untold rewards for those brave enough to answer its call. A chance to meet myself, away from all that was known, to shed the layers of expectation and discover who I truly was at my core. Then one clear morning the decision came, as clear and bright as the rising sun. Not dramatic, just a quiet certainty, a deep knowing that resonated within my very being. Yes, I would do it. I would embrace the challenge, conquer my fears, and embark on this solo adventure. I would pack a single bag, filled with only the essentials, leaving behind the baggage of my past and embracing the possibilities of the future, and step out into the blue, into the vast expanse of the unknown, with a heart full of hope and a spirit ready for adventure. The fear lingered, a shadow lurking in the corners of my mind, but excitement sang louder, a vibrant melody that drowned out the whispers of doubt. A new chapter was about to begin, a blank page waiting to be filled with the stories of my solo journey, my very own Silk Road in a way, a personal odyssey that would lead me to discover not only the world, but also myself. A journey of one, a testament to the power of self-reliance and the courage to embrace the unknown. The first step was mine to take, a leap of faith into the vast expanse of possibility. And so I did. I stepped forward, leaving behind the familiar and embracing the adventure that awaited. The days before departure were a whirlwind. Visas, tickets, endless lists. My flat shrank under the weight of practicalities and sensible shoes. Beneath it all, doubts played loudly. Could I manage? What if I got lost or lonely? What if my courage failed? What if I missed home? These worries crept in at night as I lay in bed, soon to trade my sheets for unfamiliar pillows. Yet alongside the doubts, dreams shimmered. Vivid imaginings of faraway lands, the scent of unknown spices, the murmur of languages I didn't speak, the colors of markets, the shapes of mountains. These pictures pulled me forward. This was the magic I was seeking, the reason for all the nerves. The final evening arrived. Farewells, last-minute checks, my heart a hummingbird. Saying goodbye to loved ones was poignant, their encouraging smiles, a precious gift. Then the quiet click of my front door. Standing there, bag in hand, ready, or as ready as one can ever be. The journey was about to become real. I took a deep breath. The world was waiting, and I was finally stepping out alone, but not afraid. That first step onto foreign soil alone. It's a moment suspended in time, a threshold crossed. The air feels different, charged with possibility. Your senses are immediately heightened, taking in the unfamiliar sights and sounds. There's a unique thrill, a sense of liberation that comes with venturing into the unknown completely on your own. It felt extraordinary, a symphony of new experiences waiting to unfold. The world suddenly seems vast and full of potential, and you, a solitary explorer, are about to embark on a personal odyssey. The air smelt different, the light too. Everything was new, unfiltered, untouched by the familiar. The colors seemed more vibrant, the sounds more distinct. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing the world in all its raw and authentic beauty. No one to share a glance with, just me and the unknown. It was a stark realization, a moment of pure, unadulterated solitude. But within that solitude lay a profound opportunity for self-discovery. My senses heightened, every detail magnified, taking in every sight and sound, the cacophony of a new culture washing over me. The energy of the city pulsed around me, a vibrant tapestry of human activity. It was overwhelming at first, a gentle dance with vulnerability, a feeling of being exposed and raw. The sheer newness of everything threatened to engulf me. Navigating a bustling city, a maze of unfamiliar streets and customs, deciphering signs, a constant puzzle of foreign symbols and languages, ordering coffee, a simple task made complex by a language barrier, finding the right bus, a test of patience and resourcefulness. Fleeting moments of "what am I doing?" would wash over me, waves of doubt crashing against the shores of my confidence. Was I truly capable of navigating this unfamiliar world on my own? But then, a brightly painted doorway, a splash of color in a sea of grey, children laughing, their joy infectious and pure, a kind smile from a stranger. These glimmers of wonder chased the shadows away, reminding me of the beauty and connection that exists even in the most unfamiliar places. I began to observe more keenly, noticing the subtle nuances of daily life, the way people greeted each other, the rhythm of daily life, the unspoken rules of this new society. Alone, these details shone brightly, amplified by the silence and solitude. Slowly, a quiet competence emerged, a sense of self-reliance blossoming within me. I managed to buy a train ticket, a small victory in the grand scheme of things. Found my guest house, a haven of tranquility in the midst of the bustling city. Small victories, but they've felt huge, monumental even. Each one whispered, "You can do this." A gentle affirmation echoing in my soul, and I started to believe it, to trust in my own abilities and resilience. The solitude became less daunting, more spacious, a canvas for self-reflection and growth. I was learning to trust myself, to rely on my own instincts and judgment. The world was opening up one moment at a time, revealing its hidden treasures and untold stories. Every day brought a new discovery, a new adventure waiting just around the corner. I was no longer just a visitor, I was a participant, an active member of this temporary community. The adventure had truly begun, and I was ready to embrace it with open arms. And I was ready for more, eager to explore the uncharted territories within myself and the world around me. The journey of a lifetime had just begun. It's often said that travel is about the big moments, the breathtaking vistas, the life-altering experiences, and while those certainly have their place, I've found that the true magic often lies in the accumulation of smaller triumphs. These are the moments that build you up, brick by brick, especially when you're alone, navigating unfamiliar territory. They are the quiet victories that resonate long after the journey ends. I remember one evening, early in my solo travels, trying to order dinner. I was in a small, family-run restaurant where English simply wasn't spoken. The menu was a mystery, a collection of words I couldn't decipher. My trusty phrase book became my lifeline, a jumble of hope and grammatical uncertainty. I flipped through it frantically, searching for something, anything, that would help me communicate. In the end, I resorted to pointing, smiling, and making vague, probably ridiculous noises, hoping to convey my hunger and willingness to try something new. Thankfully, the waiter was incredibly patient, sensing my confusion and making an effort to understand my clumsy attempts at communication. And then After what felt like an eternity, a delicious plate of local food appeared before me, a culinary adventure I hadn't even known I was embarking on. The relief and quiet joy that washed over me were profoundly real. It wasn't just about getting food. It was about overcoming a challenge, connecting with someone despite a language barrier, and experiencing a small victory in a foreign land. Another time I got terribly lost, wandering aimlessly through a maze of unfamiliar streets. I found myself completely disoriented in winding ancient streets, a labyrinth of cobblestone and history. Panic flickered at the edges of my mind, threatening to overwhelm me. But I took a deep breath, consciously slowing my heart rate and focused on finding a landmark, something familiar amidst the chaos. And slowly, painstakingly, I found my way back to familiar territory. There was no drama, no grand rescue, just me, relying on my own instincts and resourcefulness, figuring it out step by step, one street corner at a time. That feeling of self-reliance, of knowing I could handle whatever came my way, was truly marvelous. These small victories, these seemingly insignificant moments became my anchors, grounding me in the present and reminding me of my own strength. Each one a testament to my growing confidence, a tangible reminder that I was capable of more than I ever thought possible, successfully asking for directions from a local, even with my limited language skills, sharing a laugh with a shopkeeper over a misunderstanding, connecting through shared humanity despite the language barrier. These moments weren't just about logistics, about getting from point A to point B or ordering a meal. They were about something deeper, about connection, about bridging cultural divides and finding common ground. Through these experiences, I realized I was far more capable, more resilient, and more adaptable than I had ever imagined. The fear of the unknown didn't vanish completely, of course, but its voice grew quieter, less insistent, less able to hold me back. The satisfaction of overcoming challenges, of navigating the unknown, gradually drowned it out. Each challenge met, each obstacle overcome, was like adding a brick to a new foundation. A foundation of self-trust, of unwavering belief in my own abilities. And that feeling of self-reliance and inner strength was priceless. A treasure discovered not in a guidebook but on the road, within myself. Every small win, every moment of connection, every challenge overcome mattered. With each experience, I was building a new version of myself, stronger, more confident and more open to the world. One step, one smile, one day at a time, building a life of adventure and self-discovery. After those first days, I found my own rhythm, a pace uniquely mine, no need to compromise or hurry for anyone else. If I wanted to linger by a fountain or wander down a curious alley, I could. The joy of making all the decisions was a luxury. My own company became agreeable, and a chance for quiet contemplation, to write, to simply think. Silence became rich, not empty. I was learning to savor the here and now, alone but deeply content. Traveling solo, I became more open and the world responded. In a tiny village, I tried to buy bread. My language attempts were comical, but the baker understood my smile. She took my hand, shared fresh bread, no words needed, just kindness. Again and again, I found people helpful and welcoming, curious about the solitary traveler. These brief encounters were jewels, brightening my path. They made me feel less like an outsider, more like a temporary part of their world. The warmth from strangers reminded me, despite differences, we are all connected. A smile truly is a universal language, and kindness needs no translation. The road is a great teacher, and solo travel is its own education. I learned to trust my instincts. My intuition often knew the way. If a situation felt off, I listened and adjusted. Plans went awry. Missed trains, sudden rain, closed museums. At first these things stressed me, but I learned to adapt. Detours led to hidden cafes and unexpected festivals. Flexibility became my ally, resilience grew within me. It wasn't about being fearless, but about moving forward. Anyway, self-trust became a quiet strength I carried long after the journey ended. There's a special wonder in discovering the world alone. Your senses sharpen, you notice the little things, the way sunlight filters through leaves, the distant sound of a bell. These moments become intensely personal, etched in memory because they are yours alone. Standing on a clifftop, wandering a quiet garden, these were moments of true connection. The world unveils itself differently when you're solo. It's a front row seat to the grand theatre of life. You absorb it all more deeply, undiluted by conversation. It's a direct, unfiltered experience, and it is magnificent. If you've ever felt that whisper to explore alone, Let this be your encouragement. The worries and what-ifs are natural, but the rewards are immense. You'll discover new places and new strengths within yourself. Learn the comfort of your own company. Connect with the world in a uniquely personal way. Don't let fear hold you back. Start small if you must, but take that first step. Trust the journey. It has much to teach you. Trust yourself. You are more capable than you imagine. Challenges will come, but you'll find a way to meet them. Pack your bag, take a deep breath, and step out. The world is waiting, full of wonders, and you are ready to embrace the adventure, ready to find yourself along the way. The journey is yours, and it will be marvelous.